Hello there, welcome back to Morning at NTV. My name is Malaki Vilodera. Now today on the Solutions segment, we're trying to make your work easy as a parent. Kids are finished school, them that were candidates, especially in the primary level, are done with their papers, yes. And our young ones will soon join us at home because it's Christmas season. And so how do we engage them? How do we ensure that they don't waste their time or get into wrong things, quote unquote? So that will be the discussion today here on Solutions segment, and I brought you two very special people. So next to me is Mr. Derek Arinda. I'll call you Mr. because you finished your exams. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Derek Arinda. And next to him is Madam Joy Mirembe. She is a business manager, business development manager, and a writer at Akamai Global. She is very passionate about, parenting and that particular journey. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll start with you. How are the exams?
They were fair, really.
They were fair?
Yeah.
Coming from you, fair?
Yeah, they were really fair. They were really fair. And things that I learned appeared. There's nothing that was new, so I don't have to all the time just enter and I say, yeah, let me learn something beyond. Let me learn something that they taught me. So that's, yeah, it was really fair.
Congratulations. I'll keep in touch so you tell me how many marks you'll get after the results are out. Okay, Madam Joy, our kids are them that are candidates are now home, and the rest are going to join us soon at home. And this is the time where parents are, scared. They don't know what to do, or most of them are so busy, and yet what these kids do at home really does count. So how do we go about that? What would you tell us today?
Okay. Interesting question. I like to look at it from the broad angle that the kids haven't been dropped on us from Mars out of the blue. We've had them. They've been there. And probably this is not their first holiday, so it's a continuation of a journey that as a parent you've probably had from as far back as I don't remember. And you approach it in that same sense. What I know, many times people are more worried about the budget.
Yes.
because there's a segment of children who come with a big appetite. and there's a way in which the bill just goes through the roof during the holidays. But aside from that, I think it depends on several things. There are kids who are coming back from school, or they've been in boarding school, so everybody is excited to have them back. There are those who have been doing exams like him, have been having pressure, from the preparation and everything. So now there's a bit of relief and rest, and I think the mood is more of rest and the fact that we've put all this behind us and we are starting afresh, and I think I see it more positively though. Yes.
More positively. Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritties, Derek, you finished your examinations, now you're at home. What do you engage yourself in on a day-to-day basis? Actually, what time do you wake up? Let's start with that.
Of course, I've been waking up very early from school, so of course I have to take enough rest.
Enough rest is until what time?
Most time, the truth is I wake up at 10.
What?
Trust me, that's the truth. And really, I'll get used to it soon. Then after some time, I'll just let it go. Like, I said, like, bed is nothing, and yeah. Well, but now, most times I do housework at home.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I learned some stuff like washing. Like one time I went to the village and it was kind of interesting, really. Yeah, I learned how, since I've spent all my life in in the village, the stuff.
Wait, you spent all your life in the village?
I've spent most of my life in town.
Yes.
So in the village, I've learned interesting stuff to me. Yeah, really. It's really interesting.
So during this period, you don't mind helping mommy out with the house chores?
I help her a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
High five to that.
I don't know.
You're a different child, man.
I don't know about that.
Let me ask you, But Joy.
You can just use Joy.
Yes,
more
Joy.
efficient.
Okay. Your kids, are they like him? Let's just be honest. Are they like him? Do they help out with house chores and stuff like that?
Okay, my kids and their friends are probably going to be watching this show, so I have to be very mindful what I say. But real kids are real kids. Yeah. For his case, after PLE and the pressure that comes with it, because these days that pressure is immense. It's quite understandable that the person is tired, the child is tired. So I would understand and I allow for that. But I am a very tough mom. I haven't had house help for about 5 or 6 years because I'm very keen on having the children involvement in who we are and part of everything. So mine they behave like when the cat is away, the mice when I'm not home.
Yeah.
And then when I'm around, it's a bit different because I may scream a little or pull people's covers off them or things like that. Yeah. But because we've not had house help, because of those things, people have grown into those roles, not just for holiday. It's our way of life.
Wow.
With or without being on holiday. I mean, you have to clean up your bed, on your room, which seems to be, I don't know, when children are growing up, clean rooms and whatever, they just don't seem to be friends. But you've got to clean up, you've got to live in a clean place, and everybody has roles to play and everyone has to play their roles. Although I understand, like if he was in my home, I'd allow for that extra, maybe up to 8, 9. Be lenient. But you catch up with the things you must do.
Okay, so what I'm getting from you is it's okay to involve the children in house chores.
It's not just okay.
It's
important not only for yourself, for themselves, but for you as well.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let us now get back to the nitty-gritties. For example, my child, let's assume Derek is mine. He's from doing his examinations. He's now home. As a parent, how do I ensure that he's now home, and as much as he's home, he doesn't just laze around? Do I start with reviewing, for example, let's assume he was in a boarding school. Yeah, he did his examinations in a boarding school. When he comes, should I address the issue of examinations? Because I know many parents will come and ask you, how's the exam? Are you sure you're going to pass? A lot of pressure. Or should I assume and not have that conversation of academics at all? And then after that, how do I engage them to ensure that their brains also don't shut down? Because it's something that happens when the kids are not manned. What's the process like? They come home as a parent.
Before that, my belief is that life hasn't started at the level where they're in P7 and they're back home.
Yeah.
They've been a little 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and they've grown through the ages. My belief really is that even from a 1-year-old, you start to be a certain way. You start to be trained and raised to be a responsible person for yourself and for those around you. So we're not just jumping into it at this point. Also, the exams don't take away life, because you still must eat, you must be several other things. So I'm very passionate about being an all-rounded individual. It's not just about the exams. So even during your exams, you had a sense of responsibility about other things. So we are just merely continuing what we've been doing and how we're doing things. Now, to allow a child to rest from the PLE and the pressure of exams and all after we get back, for example, me, I insist on reading.
Reading
books, and serious books, to a point that, there's even reward for, how far. It's not easy because you find a child who doesn't enjoy reading, then you find one who naturally enjoys reading. And you can have 3 children in a home, and one loves to read effortlessly, and the other doesn't seem to want. So there's a bit of a push. But a child's development, in my view, is that it's an all-round on all things. So you cook, you clean up, I tell my kids a lot, think, you have a head, go around, walk around the house if you must, and come back.
All right.
Or draw a plan. you know, for a long holiday like this, I want a plan, an activity plan.
So draw a plan.
Yes.
Have a timetable.
Your own plan,
Wow.
and then we come and we discuss it. Because I am thinking, I don't want to incapacitate you with what I would think are my plans.
Yeah.
So draw your plans. But you see, you've been teaching them to draw their plans from when they're little, so it's not just a new thing now.
So what I'm getting from you is that this should be something that is continuous.
Yes,
It shouldn't be
yes.
something that we
It's a
just
way of
shock
life.
them with.
It's a
It should
lifestyle.
be a way of
Yes,
life.
yes.
So even for the children that are maybe very young, we need to start that
There's
process
no
right now.
really young child,
Yeah.
because even
There's
when
no
they're
young child.
1 year old and you touch them or get them doing something wrong, they'll know they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You stop them, they'll actually know. So they're amazing, because a human being, in my view, is a very intelligent person. And when they're little, they really have all that.
Okay.
And then maybe we cause it to kind of go down, or we close it down, and we don't push for that creativity to come out. And
Yeah, I get your point. Derek, you said that you actually love doing house chores, the other activities that you're into. What's your plan now that we now learn that you have to have a plan, and I'm sure this is something your mother has also taught you. So break it down for us. When you wake up at 10, now that you wake up at 10, what's your plan like for the day?
Actually, the truth is I don't have a plan. I don't have one. But I'm trying to get, I will try to get one. Since you've advised me, and I'll try to get one at least. But the truth is, most times I wake up early. Of course, I brush my teeth, you know, wash my face, bathe. Yeah, those hygienic stuff. Then that's when I can go and do the work. And sometimes I can go and even watch TV, of course.
Sometimes,
Actually, sometimes all the time. Okay, I'm telling you
all
the
the
truth.
time.
Yeah, all the time.
Usually they'll wake up, and if there is nobody to really stress or push them, they'll wake up and go to the TV.
Yeah.
Eyes, everything, the way it came from the bed
Right.
to the TV.
And then so you watch TV if you don't have any other thing to do.
Most times I visit my friends, you know. When I'm at school, I don't have time to talk to them. You know, that thing of, actually we compete. That competing thing where you come like, I'm gonna beat you, and you say, no, I'm not. But when we are done with the exams, we leave that competing thing behind.
Yeah.
But when we come back to school for results, that's when competing continues.
Yeah.
But right now, I visit my friends.
Okay.
Like yesterday, I visited some friend of mine. He lives really far away. He's called Okema, Bright. If he's watching this, it's okay. He's busy around. He's a good friend of mine. He has always been with me since in school time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you visit your friends as well.
Yeah.
Just tell us today, Joy, how many hours should our children be watching TV in a day? Because I know TV is not all bad though. But what should they be watching and how long?
My rules are a bit different. They tend to be significantly conservative. But I picked them up from when my older child was in nursery school. She had a teacher who was amazing. So one time I come back home and she's sleeping in the couch. You know, she's asleep, and I'm asking, and she said, Mrs. Otieno said we don't watch TV we don't watch TV on school days. Mrs. Otieno said we watch TV on I think Friday and Saturday. And we adopted that. We adopted Mrs. Otieno's rule and style. So everybody knows we don't watch TV during the week, especially during school time. But on Friday and Saturday, there's room and allowance, may not be too strict about it. 8 hours now, we are timing the 8 hours apart. No, but, a bit of that allowance. But I've had this discussion with the kids and they picked it. I like to have them visit other people because they pick some of these things. It's a risky thing because they might also pick a few wrong habits.
Right.
But once in a while they pick really good habits. So another friend of mine, who's a godchild to one of my kids, told my children, TV makes you silly. Which in a way it does.
It does.
But hearing it from another parent was very good for me. So Auntie Robina said, TV makes you silly. So we build on the Auntie Robina, Mrs. Otieno. So because of that, TV hasn't been over-glorified in the home. But there come seasons when it's a big deal because, like he said, you have your friends, so they discuss, they talk. So for me, during school times, I may refuse to actually pay for TV because now it's for paying. There was a
Yes.
season when, you know, so, you know, you just don't pay for that TV so that people can focus on other things.
Yeah.
Because once TV is there, you to control it to such levels, they are smart.
Yeah, the
That's
issue is
smart.
controlling
Yes,
it.
yes.
Because someone once told me is that it's not like TV makes the children silly, but what they watch.
Well, that's
the
what is on.
content.
The content is on TV.
But you can't control it, right?
No, for me, my thinking is that get the children to appreciate the things first, and then on their own, they'll know not to.
Yeah.
As opposed to don't. So we sit down. Auntie Robina said TV makes you silly. Can we discuss that? Can we break that down so people understand it? So people walk away from TV on their own, not because I am watching, but because like now I have a significantly older child. She can beat you to the game and the whole control things that you put in place, which for me is where the mind should be. So you have a child who say, Mommy, so-and-so was watching TV, which is for their age, which is for the age. Because they have an appreciation that of what should be appropriate or not appropriate for
Okay. After TV, after now we've broken all that down, of course, during holidays, there are camps. Actually, Derek, have you attended any camp?
Not yet.
Not yet. If there was an opportunity, would you?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Are there benefits to children attending camps?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because they interact with I think that even for us as individuals, the more experiences and exposure that we have in anything, in any place, makes us better people, gives us an appreciation of the world and of so many other things in general. You know, from my mother's tribe, they say, you know, if you've not traveled all over the place, you think your mother is the best cook. You know, so the idea to see other things. So camps and initiatives like those, in my view, are good. However, they have a few issues. One, they can be expensive, which means they tend to be exclusive to people who could or should afford them. When I was growing up and as a teen, we did attend a lot of camps, mainly church-based, and they shaped a lot of our beliefs and values and who we are. Now they can be pretty expensive. If you have 4 or 5 kids, and each child requires about 450 or 3 or 500,000 per child, you've gone into a bill which is crazy. But I think it's a good investment for a parent who again didn't just know about their kids today. So they've known that, you know, the year was coming to an end, and maybe you've been saving up for the kids because you believe it's a good investment in each of the children.
All right, so camps, like you said, it's true they're expensive, but for parents who cannot afford this particular camps, what can they just, you know, custom make, maybe a small program? What can they do to make sure that the children are actually engaged and they learn skills as much as they're home to rest?
It's commitment and hard work from the parent. But like I was telling you about the kids drawing a plan or drawing their own plans.
Okay.
When they draw their plans and then we are discussing and going through them, they come up with interesting things. You know, some my son, I remember one time he had on his plan, there are silly things which don't seem to make sense, but then there are other amazing things in the plan, like he'll visit or he will have a biking race or whatever with his friends on this one, or they are going to go and you involve them in mundane things. I think that to be a parent doesn't have to be so, if you put your heart to it, there are all sorts of ways. For example, no house help. For me, the kids then divided up the house in terms of who cleans where and cleans what. I don't like things in the kitchen sink after you've had your meal.
Yes.
I'll find them 1,000 times, especially when I reach home and nobody was expecting me to come. But, you know, so there's things like that. The other one, which I one time interested one of my children in, he used to ask me for money all the time. It's like, Mommy, can I lay your bed? Will you pay me? Mommy, can I clean your room? Will you pay me? And I said, but you don't pay me to bring you tomatoes and all those other things. So we can't pay for certain things. Yeah. However, because he was pushing, I said, you know, we have somebody in the neighborhood who seems to have a veranda that needs help all the time. It seems to be all needing, and you're the best cleaner in this world. Remember, you clean the house, this part of your house. So you're going to go to her and sell yourself. And he was about 8.
Wow.
And then I said, look at me, let's practice. How are you going to go and tell her?
Wow.
So you say, okay, I'll go and knock. Auntie Liz, I'm the best cleaner, and I was offering to clean your veranda, and you know, things like that. So before long, he actually went to Auntie Liz, explained himself to Auntie Liz, and got himself a cleaning job. So he would clean her veranda once a week, and she would pay him once or twice a week. Yes, but for me, I was pushing him to look for things, and I believe they're there. I've seen kids who rear rabbits. I've seen a little girl that I lived with. She would knit things, or another one is into drawing. There's all sorts of things if you allow for the brain to work.
Interesting. If you allow for the brain to work.
Yes.
And they can actually make money.
Yes.
So what's your passion, Derek? So there's a way that you can even start, you know, developing your skills of entrepreneurship. What are you passionate about, and what do you want to become in life?
The truth is I want to become an engineer in future.
Uh-huh.
So most times I handle stuff that, like, things that I can handle. Like, one time my mom likes to use her phone. You know, one time she had, like, a virus or something. And you know, kids currently, they like phones and stuff too much. And they like their phones. Even most times they like to ask their mom, "Mom, you buy for me a phone?" So most times, one time my mom was using her phone. It like developed a problem. And after I fixed it, she said, "Are you a mechanic or something like that?" It was so interesting, yeah.
So you want to be an engineer?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you doing anything? Do you plan on doing anything during your holiday season just to start, you know, walking that journey and skilling yourself as well?
My mom is still looking for a program to help me those skills of building and those stuff, like building up something, inventing, like those stuff will work. Okay. I'm trying to look for it, but it seems like my mom is giving up, I think. I'm not sure, really.
But mom shouldn't be the one to do it. You should be.
I'm trying to look it out too. I'm trying also to go through, pass through stuff. I pass through newspapers and I see if there are other stuff, but I say I can't. But anyway, it's my mom to decide. It's not me to decide. I can't say that, "Mom, I'm going for this camp and I have to go." No. It's not like that.
All right. And you know you can actually self-train, right?
Yeah, I think
you can self-train, as mom even looks for that money and the camp to actually take you to learn the skills. Let's talk about communication and the importance of parents bonding with their children during this season. The parents who have no children interaction when they're in school because they're in boarding school, and so when they come, like I told you, we're still busy. We want to take them out for a camp, or they just need to be far away from us because they're a lot of work.
Because they're hard work.
They're hard work. Yes. So what should we be doing to ensure that there's that communication, deliberate communication, and just understanding the growth panel and chart for our children?
It's a choice. It comes down to that. It's a choice. I believe we always make time for what we think is important, what we believe to be important. Once you believe it's important, you make time for it. It's just how we make time for funerals. And at that point, it's probably not adding any value. But we go. And the tradition, we sit there, we talk through the night, but we've sat there because we felt it was important. So you choose. And you say, you know what? For me to be a parent, maybe I didn't have a choice, but now I'm here. I'm at the job. I don't have a way around it, but I'm here. And then from there, because you've appreciated it, you then make choices which encourage that. Right. It's deliberate. It's not easy. It's not automatic. But once you've made that choice, it's easier.
Okay.
So that means because you've made that choice, you cut out a few things. You miss some evenings, you miss some things for the kids. Because with the kids, most of the times, well, the ones I've interacted with, time is what spells the best thing for them. And you know what's even funny? You could create time and you're with them at home and they're all over the place doing their own things.
Exactly.
And nobody seems to be paying attention to you. But when you're going to get out of the door, you know, someone comes and says, "Where are you going?" "But where are you going? Why did you have to go?" So it's just that availability, because they learn from you directly and indirectly. As you treat yourself, as you clean the house, as you do several things, they're learning from you, and they just want you to be around. So it starts from that place. And then after that, then you take it a notch higher, meaning you learn from others, or you ask colleagues or friends, how are they going about with some of their things. Yeah. So I have friends who have dates with their kids, you make time and say Friday is for the kids.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be expensive. What does that mean? I have one of my favorite parents is my brother. His Friday night is movie night with the girls.
Interesting.
But that's at home. You don't even have to be going out into a cinema. That means they'll sit home. You can create home to be cinema, like you draw the curtains, and everybody's seated and you have popcorn, and you're watching with them. And then after the movie, maybe you'll ask questions. What did they pick from it? It's those things.
Right.
It's picking and dropping the kids yourself, for example, as opposed to a driver picking and taking them, because in the car you're having conversation, you're just there with them, and that being together is important.
Okay.
You can't quantify the value, but you can't deny what it creates.
All right. So you're saying there's no formula to that. Just be creative.
Yes.
Work around what you have.
And who your kids are, you know, because based on their personalities, what they enjoy, then you develop those things.
Right.
You know, somebody likes to cook. My older child loves to cook. I don't like to cook. And then I have to get myself to be in the kitchen or avail things that, enhance what she likes to do.
All right. Joy, thank you so much. Derek, I want you to speak to your fellow candidates. Do you want to go to boarding school in secondary?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
Until you've gone.
Until you've gone.
Yes, the theory might change.
All right. That's your camera. Speak to your fellow young people right now. They're in holiday. Tell them not to misbehave or whatever you want to tell them. That's your camera. Camera one. Camera one, that one.
Okay, look, most times I like to say this to most people. You have to take your time, Your parents are always there for you. And you have to also be careful also. Because safety comes first. Some people walk until they walk from 12 afternoon up to 7. What's that? You better be careful. This world is meant for you, but you have to be careful while using it.
All right.
I tell you.
Thank you so much. Hey, engineer indeed. Joy, 1 second. Your word to parents, 1 second.
Be available. Just be available for them. I don't know how. The intricacies might be subject to debate or whatever, but just be available.
Be available. That is it for Solutions segment. Thank you so much for making time. Morning at 10 TV still continues. Keep it here.